Hey guys, it's Elena. Today we're going to make an acrylic pour painting in Procreate on a large canvas with a white background, and we will be using my acrylic pour brushes in Procreate, and this is going to be quite a simple tutorial where we are not actually going to use liquify. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's have a large canvas today. Let's go with 20 by 16 inches. And we'll be keeping the background white. And we will be using my acrylic pour brushes for Procreate. And as our color palette, let's go ahead and choose the acrylic pour brights palette. And this one it comes with the brush set, and it's also available in my free resource library for anyone who does not have the brushes. So what we're going to be doing is that we will, not like in my previous tutorials with this brush set, we're only going to be using the fluid pour brushes and experimenting with what we can do only using these brushes without liquify. And let's just see where we go with that. So I'm going to start out with fluid pour number 1 and choosing a blue color. Let's just make that all the way up and then make some blobs here. Go like that. So we've got some nice texture going on in here. And the reason that I wanted to use these brushes without liquify is because there's actually some really nice texture in here. So I wanted to just make a very simple piece only using these brushes and some of the cells. So now let's go to number 4. And this time let's go with a purple color. I think we're going to choose this purple here. And we're not going to overlap because we don't want to cover up this texture, but we want to have it sort of bleeding in because the edges are have this bleed on them. So I'm just going to make a blob next door. Okay, pretty happy with that. Now let's switch to another brush. Let's go to number 5. And let's choose more of the pinkish purple this time, maybe the dark one. And make a blob over here. And let's go to this reddish pink color now. And go to fluid pour number 6. So I'm going to add a little bit here. Make the brush set a bit bigger. Okay, and then let's choose green. And with the same brush, let's fill in this area. Maybe I'm not actually liking how this looks with green. So let's go with a blue instead. Let's go instead with this blue. Okay. We're just going to leave it like that, and now, oops. Now we're going to go to the smudge tool and start adding some cells. So let's go with cells number 1 to start with under the smudge tool, not the brush tool, so that we will be smudging what's here instead of adding any new color. So I'm going to keep that quite large as well since we have such a large canvas that we're working with. And I'm just going to try and find some spots that have a couple different colors and then go from those spots into some smaller motions here so you can see the cells starting to appear. Now let's switch to dynamic cells number 3, still using the smudge tool, and just do a bit of the same thing here. These can come out a little bit darker. Now I think let's go to the brush tool and then go down to the dynamic cells here. And I'm going to choose number 1 again, and I wanted to go with this pinkish color down here that we used on this area, and add just a few more cells to some of these empty looking areas. I'm going to choose my blue and do the same. And just to keep things changing, I'm going to choose number 3. Make sure the opacity is all the way up and do the same thing. And as a finishing touch, we're going to go down to the dynamic pressure cells, number 1 to start with, and let's just keep that blue color and test these out somewhere in the middle and see what happens when we start to use this. I can give a bit more of a blending effect with some of these rings in here. So we'll just use that kind of sparingly. And this does take color, this brush, from where you begin. So you can try it from different areas to see what you think. So I'm going to come in from the side as well, just adding a little bit on the sides. And I'd like to actually go to white and then just add a little bit to the middle in white as well. So we have kind of a messy jumble of cells in the middle here. So I think that we will just add a little bit of gold by going to the Fluid Acrylic Dark color palette and choosing that gold color there. And we've added a new layer. And I'm going to choose my Fluid Metallic brush and then randomly add just a bit of gold in the middle here. And let some of that go out to the edges as well. I think we will leave it at that today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I will talk to you next time.